stand if you are able as we are led through the Star-Spangled Banner by the Chamber Choir under the direction of Mr. Christopher Clark. Thank you. Please be seated. Every day, I get the pleasure of visiting classrooms and seeing what these fine young adults are up to, how they support one another, learn from one another, challenge one another, celebrate one another, and respect one another. While I get to see this in all areas of our school and outside of school, the music area is one of my favorite places to visit. It brings me such joy. I am fortunate enough to have heard this next piece at last night's concert that the entire choral program ended their night with. So again, I turn the program over to Mr. Clark and the Chamber Choir, who will be singing The Song Has Just Begun by Martin. Enjoy.
But
so far, so we're going to get going. As I started, as I do every event, if you've been here at all the last 7 years, you know that I always announce myself or say that I'm a proud principal, and this morning is just another reason. May is a marathon. We've had so many wonderful events to be proud of. I've seen many of you at concerts, inductions, sporting events, and more. So today I get to welcome you to the 45th Annual Scholars Breakfast. Today we recognize 291 of our students who have upheld a 3.67 GPA for the first 3 quarters of the school year. So congratulations to all of you. I sure hope that you are proud to be here because this is such an amazing accomplishment. Can we please give a round of applause to our scholars here this morning? As with all events, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work. This, however, is definitely one of our biggest with over 500 people. We've been able to turn our gymnasium into a dining hall, and that's only possible because of our custodial, our cafeteria staff, and our secretarial staff. They have worked hours to ensure today is ready to go for all of us. I would especially like to thank my secretary, Mrs. Sunderland, for her superwoman efforts in making sure every detail is followed, not only today, but every day. So a round of applause for our custodians, cafeteria staff, and our secretaries. All right, and we have some very distinguished guests with us this morning. So in addition to all of our scholars and our senior families, I'd like to welcome from table 1 our guest speaker, who I will introduce later after breakfast, but Miss Jenna Griffith. Jenna, just stand up. Very excited to be here, I know that. She's accompanied by her parents, Mr. David Griffith and Mrs. Michelle Griffith. Also at table 1, we have our superintendent of schools, Dr. Maureen Brummett, and our Board of Ed chairperson, Mrs. Amy Parati. At table 2, we have many of our Newington Town Council people here, so I'd like to introduce Mr. Timothy Menke, Mrs. Gail Pedraco, Mr. Mitch Page, Mr. David Nagel, and Mr. Matthew Plord, Mrs. Kathy Gonzalez, our interim town manager, Mrs. Jamie Trevethian. Sorry, Jamie. Our assistant superintendent of schools, Ms. Wendy Krause. Oh, she's at the other table, my apologies. Still at table 2, assistant principal, Mr. Jamie Harris. And then back at table 3, still we have Mr. David Millardo, Stoddard House assistant principal. Mr. Mario Ficcicelli, Doran House assistant principal. Newington Board of Education, Mrs. Mary Beatrice. And at table 4, we have our National Honor Society advisors, Mrs. Lisa Finelli, Mrs. Jennifer Meal, our very own Mrs. Anne Marie Sunderland, and Executive Assistant to the Superintendent, Mrs. Sophie Pachaki. So now I'd like to turn the program over to our Board of Education chairperson, Mrs. Amy Parati, who will read the co-valedictorian addresses. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We're very excited this year. We have co-valedictorians. Both these students have worked very hard, so I will read the proclamations. And unfortunately, Mia could not be here this morning, but here is her resolution. Resolution honoring Mia Golek, Newington High School co-valedictorian class of 2024. Whereas Mia Golek is the co-valedictorian for the Newington High School graduating class of 2024, and whereas academically, Mia has completed 11 advanced placement courses and 5 courses at Central Connecticut State University, consistently pursuing the most rigorous curriculum available. Her outstanding achievements have been recognized through various awards such as the Rensselaer Medal, Smith College Book Award, English Book Award, and AP Scholar with Honors. And whereas Mia's academic excellence has led her to become a member of the English Mu Alpha Theta Math, Latin, Science, Rho Kappa History, Tri-M Music, and National Honor Societies. Mia also holds leadership positions such as being the historian of the National Honor Society, the secretary of the English National Honor Society, and the treasurer of Mu Alpha Theta Math National Honor Society. She has also received both silver and gold medals for the National Latin Exam and has been an NHS Top Scholar each year. And whereas within our community, Mia is a valued member of the NHS Golf Team, Latin Club, Math Team, and Crochet Club. She has been a dedicated volunteer in the dental office of Dr. Becerra, served as patient aide at Yale New Haven Hospital, where she was a liaison between patients and medical staff, volunteered at the 2022 Special Olympics in Boston, Massachusetts, don't know that word, at Annunciation Parish, and is an instructor at Connecticut Kempo Karate, where she has been a student for 13 years. Mia is awaiting decisions from schools such as the University of Chicago, Carnegie Mellon University, Dartmouth College, Rice University, Duke University, and the University of Pennsylvania. She intends to pursue a degree in psychology. Therefore, be it resolved that the Newington Board of Education hereby extends its sincere congratulations to Mia Golek for her outstanding achievement in academic excellence and wishes her continued success in the future. Be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Newington Board of Education is directed to provide a suitable copy of this resolution to Mia Golek. Sincerely, Board of Education members. Our next co-valedictorian is Alexander Tong. Alex, would you come up here? Good morning, Alex. Resolution honoring Alexander Tong, Newington High School co-valedictorian class of 2024. Whereas Alexander Tong is the co-valedictorian for the Newington High School graduating class of 2024.
And whereas Alex has demonstrated commitment to education and a yearning for academic challenge. Alex will have successfully completed 9 AP courses and 10 honors courses. Alex has taken 3 classes that are eligible for college credit through Project Lead the Way: Introduction to Engineering, Principles of Engineering, and Aerospace Engineering. He's also eligible to earn additional college credits through ECE, which is a dual enrollment program through the University of Connecticut. Furthermore, Alex is enrolled in our Aerospace and Engineering Academy.
And whereas Alex's academic achievements has earned him multiple awards, including the Harvard Book Award, Certificate of Academic Excellence, the Outstanding Achievement in English Award, which is only given to one student who's selected by the English department, and an AP Scholar Award, which is given to students who earn 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. In addition, Alex has been inducted into the National Honor Society as well as the English, Latin, Math, and Science National Honor Societies. Furthermore, Alex has dedicated a lot of time to studying Latin each year. His efforts allowed him to attain a high level of proficiency, earning him the seal of biliteracy. And whereas Alex has been a member of the boys cross country team for the past 2 years, this year Alex stepped up as a team manager. For the past 3 years, Alex has been a member of the track and field team as a distance runner and thrower. This year, Alex joined the robotics club where he worked with his peers to design and build robots used in competitions against other surrounding high schools. Also this year, Alex elected to participate in FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America Club. Also, Alex serves as secretary of the National Honor Society. And whereas Alex frequently volunteers in the Newington community. For example, he has helped the United Methodist Church with their annual pumpkin patch fundraiser. He also founded the Friendly Neighbor Project, where he assists residents by raking leaves, cleaning up Mill Pond Park, and the cross-country home course near John Wallace. In addition, Alex continues to volunteer at the Lucy Robbins Wells Library, where he assists with youth programs. Alex plans to attend Boston University in the fall to begin his pursuit of a degree in engineering. Therefore, be it resolved that the Newington Board of Education hereby extends its sincere congratulations to Alexander Tong for his outstanding achievement in academic excellence and wishes him continued success in the future. Be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Newington Board of Education is directed to provide a suitable copy of this resolution to Alexander Tong. Sincerely, the Board of Education.
Whew. All right. It's breakfast time. So I'm going to turn it over to my assistant principals who are going to help, show you the way to the 4 stations that we have on either side of the cafe here and the gym. Please take your time. We won't run out of food. So Mr. Ficcicelli is over there, Mr. Harris is in the back, and Mr. Millardo is to my left. And once we eat, we will get started with the rest of the program. Enjoy the food. Thank you. Morning again. As I walk around, it looks like everyone is just about done or wrapping up, so I'm gonna, about 30 seconds, just get the program going again. I ask that if you are done, just leave your stuff at your table so we're not getting up during the next part of the presentation. So just about 30 seconds.
Thank you so much for inviting us. I'm fine, thank you. I'm just here for the speech.
Yes, I did a dress rehearsal.
That's fine. I think they got it. Okay, everyone, we're going to get started again. So if I could just have your attention. Once again, this year, we received word that the Newington Music Department has been recognized as one of the best communities for music education by the National Association of Music Merchants. This comes as absolutely no surprise. Once you hear them, you won't be surprised either. So it's my honor to turn this part of the program over to the Chamber Orchestra under the direction of Mr. Stephen Brooks, who will perform Souvenir de Puerto Rico by Louis Gottschalk. Take it away. fortunate in Newington to keep in touch with so many NHS grads who have gone on to make a name for themselves. Today's guest has certainly done that. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this morning, Mrs. Jenna Griffith. Jenna kicked off her professional career performing as the role of Lucy in the national tour of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, produced by Theater Works USA. From 2003 to 2007, during the height of Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraq Freedom, she secured her spot as a featured singer for the USO, performing over 500 shows worldwide for our nation's military and veterans. In 2004, she connected with the charity Achilles International as her USO troupe was performing at an Achilles race in Central Park. Due to her enthusiasm and devotion, she evolved into a prominent role in the Achilles organization, where she established the Achilles Marathon Tour, enabling thousands of wounded veterans to participate in mainstream races nationwide. Jenna has been tireless in her quest to raise awareness to meet the needs of people with disabilities. Her efforts have taken her through the halls of government and the presidents of Fortune 500 companies. Jenna is the Director of Event Production and Expansion at Achilles International. Additionally, she manages the Traeger Scholarship awarded to a talented NHS senior pursuing high education in performing arts, sits on the boards of the Norfeld Elementary School PTO and West Hartford Summer Arts Festival, and captains several USTA tennis teams. Jenna is a 1997 graduate of Newington High School, was the captain of the girls' tennis team, and a singer and performer in the NHS musicals and our chamber choir. She is a graduate of American University in Washington, D.C., with a BA in musical theater. She was the 2007 honoree of the Purple Heart Association of New York and the 2010 recipient of the American University Alumni Recognition Award. She lives in West Hartford, Connecticut, with her husband, who is joining us now this morning, so welcome, her daughter, and a doggie named Lucy. Please give it up for Miss Jenna Griffith. Well, I think you haven't seen what we looked like in the 90s. There's a picture of Jenna over there.
Good morning, everyone. It's truly an honor to be here. Thank you, Ms. Tigno, for this special opportunity. Thank you, is Miss Cody in here? Thank you, Miss Cody, for recommending me. Okay, I feel like Miss Cody, she might be the only teacher still at Newington High who was here when I was a student 27 years ago and has not aged a bit. She's a remarkable educator, human, and the school is so lucky to have her on the faculty. She's adored by all. So you're never allowed to retire, Miss Cody, if you're here. Hope you're in here. Okay, can we just take a moment to celebrate these outstanding students in the room? Come on. I was told you made honors 3 times this year. I assume you all made it a 4th quarter too, but who's counting, right? That is an incredible accomplishment. I mean, despite all your distractions in life right now, Insta, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, all the devices, all the weekly hours put into extracurricular activities, you still managed your time and focused your efforts to get top grades in your classes. You still locked in high honors despite going through the pandemic, which, as you know, has had an enormous negative effect on student academic performance. Also, I don't want to knock my generation, but what you are studying in class today is at a far more advanced level than what it was 25 years ago. I mean, my daughter is in 5th grade, and I can't even help her with her math homework at this point. It's truly ridiculous. So you defied all odds to be here today. Despite all your challenges, you pushed through, you made academics a priority, and crushed this school year. So congratulations again. Also, full circle moment for me. 3 of my NHS friends reached out when they heard I was speaking today and told me their kids' nieces are also scholars in this room. So that means my teen friends now have teens, which makes me feel really old right now. Also, I was very excited to tell my mom that I was asked to be the keynote today, and her reply was, "Why did they choose you?" Thanks, Mom, but that is a fair question. So how can I add value today when you have already achieved such greatness? I want to talk to you about making an impact. Every person in this room has the power to make a positive change in this school, in their home, in this community, this world. I wish I had this mindset in high school, as I didn't find the true value of service until my 20s. My NHS years, I was hyper-focused on my personal dream of being a Broadway star. I had a lot of riz. That's short for charisma, my daughter tells me. So I started doing the NHS musical when I was in 6th grade. Until my senior year, I played the lead Reno in Anything Goes. Yes, I was a good student and did other activities too, but I wanted to set myself up to get into a college where I could study musical theater and then move to New York City to live the dream. Everything was going according to my plan. Got into a musical theater program at American University, graduated, and then on September 1st, 2001, moved to downtown New York City, ready to land my first Broadway role. Except 10 days later, my roommate and I woke up to our clock radios to hear, and now the Twin Towers are burning. I knew we could see the Twin Towers from the corner of our block, and sure enough, we look up and just one was standing in flames. Confused as we remember seeing 2 Twin Towers from this viewpoint, we decide to walk one more block west. By the time we made it to the corner, we no longer could see the Twin Towers. They both had fallen. I remember seeing people covered in ashes, walking slowly up 2nd Avenue. My roommate and I quickly bought some bottled water at the bodegas and handed it out to these survivors resembling zombies in a daze. America was under attack and cell service was down, so I couldn't get in touch with my family. Trains were down, so you couldn't leave Manhattan. I felt trapped and terrified. Thankfully, some train service resumed the following morning, and my friend and I walked 2 miles to Penn Station to exit the city. I returned to my home in Newington for a few weeks, feeling lost and uncertain about my future. But despite the most destructive terrorist attack of all time happening on US soil, our country came together as a unit. United we stand was the slogan. Communities and businesses, sports teams joined forces to support the victims and their families. We uplifted each other during a dark time in history. I made the decision that I needed to return to New York and continue the start of my next chapter. Soon after, I saw an advertisement in the paper that there were auditions for the USO Troupe, which stood for United Service Organization, a charity that supports our military and veterans through providing free entertainment and recreational facilities at most US airports and bases. I auditioned and got the role of a lifetime, singing and performing for our nation's heroes. We were at the height of Operation Enduring Freedom and then Operation Iraqi Freedom, where I traveled to US bases in Korea, Japan, and Germany and performed over 500 USO shows, including several deployment ceremonies, coming home ceremonies, New Year's Eve in Times Square, parades, veterans' homes, national anthems at Ranger games, New York Giants, Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, Mets, and sadly, military funerals as well. I would find myself overcome with emotion on stage as I sang and looked into the eyes of our young soldiers, essentially around my age, who was about to go on the battlefield and fight for our freedom. He or she volunteered to do this, to put their lives on the line to protect us, protect our democracy. Yet in that moment, we were bringing them a touch of home, performing some familiar tunes, showing our appreciation for their sacrifice, and creating joyful moments before their fate would be decided. To me, this was more powerful than fulfilling the Broadway dream. I was making an impact, in a way serving my country while doing something that I love. My USO career then introduced me to a nonprofit that transforms lives of people with disabilities through adaptive running. My US troop was asked to sing the national anthem to kick off a race celebrating people with disabilities in Central Park. It was there that I saw the costs of war for the first time. Young men and women, also in their late teens and early 20s, who lost limbs on the battlefield, were in Central Park running and hand cycling as part of their road to recovery. This resilience, strength, and determination of these young heroes blew my mind, and I knew I needed to get more involved. I became a volunteer for Achilles, and then worked my way up to the director of the Achilles Freedom Team of Wounded Veterans, spending time at military hospitals, encouraging wounded veterans to focus on what they can do post-injury, and setting them up with the goal of running a marathon one day. To date, Achilles has helped over 1,500 veterans with disabilities cross finish lines worldwide. I was at the peak of my career, but I made a tough decision to take an extended absence from Achilles and be a stay-at-home mom for the first 4 years of my daughter's life. Once my kiddo was school age, I returned to Achilles part-time, and then a few years later, the pandemic hit. And instantly, I found myself back in my safe place, here in Newington. But this time, my family and I didn't return to the city. We decided to start a new life and move here permanently. This latest unexpected life transition opened the doors to even more ways I could get involved with the community. Volunteering for my daughter's school PTO, chairing a memorial tennis tournament in memory of my Newington High friend Elizabeth Carlson, managing the Mr. Traeger Scholarship here at NHS, and more. I am hoping my story will inspire you to embrace the idea of giving back in some capacity. And hopefully the major changes in your life won't be dictated by a war and a pandemic. Just know that you have the tools to deal with anything life throws at you. You have the power to redirect your energy and use it as an opportunity to make even a greater impact. You can start by just helping a family member, a friend, your teacher, with a small task. Think about the strengths that you have and how you can use your gifts to support others. You know, teens are spending an average of 7 hours a day on devices. Maybe set a goal to invest 1 hour a week to give back. You already are accomplishing the most difficult part, which is performing at your highest academic potential. Now I challenge you to take it one step further. You can be an influencer not only through social media, but through service. And if you're not sure what to do, my charity Achilles International needs volunteers on June 1st in Simsbury for the Yukon Health Race supporting athletes with disabilities. Connect with Miss Cody and she can get you my info, and I can help you get your first service project underway. I will leave you today with a quote from a woman by the name of Taylor Swift. She said, "No matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind." I want to thank you again for your warm welcome, and I can't wait to continue to see you shine bright in all that you do. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jenna. You fit right into our family of learners because we definitely promote kindness around here. Right, everybody? Okay. Let's give her another round of applause. So now it's time to honor our students. I'd like to call up Mrs. Finelli and Mrs. Meal, as well as the National Honor Society officers, Superintendent Dr. Brummett, Board Chairperson Amy Parada, to help hand out our awards and congratulate our students. I ask that you please hold your applause to the end, and we're going to take a class picture. So we'll start with grade 9. When you get up to the, once you get your certificate, please head over to the podium, head up to the top riser, and make way for the several other students that will be behind you.
Good morning. Andrew Alamany. Jawad Amadou. Mason Amuso. Mia Anktel. Colleen Balda. Samantha Bolu. Daniel Biashad. Alyssa Boranese. Hayden Buffard. Matthew Brown. Brianna Butler. Michael Burns. Sage Campbell. April Chavery. Sophia Segan. Zachary Dabre. Daphne D'Onofrio. Ariana Felice. Bella Filippone. Gavin Floor. Mikobin Foster Salters. Tessa Grande. Sarah Harapal. Ryan Hughes. Azika Yahik. Braden Kranian. Julia Kuchik. Gabriel Lappin. Mathilde Lomba Alves. Nathan Liu. Gabriela Marquez. Max Matthews. Isabella Medina. Eva Mendez. Benjamin Mashad. Sophia Mashad. Jacob Mimna. Lacey Montana. Isabel Negron. Dorothy Wynn. Ella Nunez. William Nias. Ashley Orzel. Natalie Pade. Nicole Petit. Talia Prignano. Shamim Kadar. Kimberly Ramdio. Anaya Ross. Ella Rossi. James Salvadori. Kaylee Sarmiento. Abby Seguro. Lily Soka. Addison Stafford. Michael Tekian. Sierra Timmons. And Blake Wiley.
That concludes the presentation for our 9th grade scholars. We'll now read the name for the 10th grade scholars.
Starting off with Youssef El Sakri, Annika Anan, Murtaza Ather, Ishan Badugu, Sienna Belkrikas, Adrian Bielski, Julian Bouchard, Brooklyn Bradley, Victoria Bouchard, Bahari, Catherine Burns, Olivia Canapari, Caitlin Clapp, Mathilde Costa, Camry Corner, Dominique, Audrey Danfresco, Thomas DiNapoli. Okay. Caitlin Dugas, Emma Verderis, Caroline Fisher, Sean Fleming, Juliana Flores, Megan Gianova, Shastra Gudipudi, Sophia Guida, Marcy Guri, Ariana Henrique de Ferris, Kripa Jacob, Sam Jacob, Ian Jew, Evelyn Kelly, Zaid Khan, Victoria Klebanov, Monica Kalawaskis, Owen Kucha, Aiden Kai, Min Young Lee, Nora Lewinsky, Brianna Lyle, Clara Mage, Brianna Marquez, Reagan Mayo, Paige Mazzacaro, Brianna McCurdy, Dalen Miller, Paige McNow, Trayman Morris, Gianfranco Morijo, Garrick Napoli, Bryce Nugent, Kenna O'Brien, Maya Ouellette, Abigail Pratt, Antonio Punzalan, Jacob Rivera, Aiden Rodriguez, Ava Rosa, Genesis Sanchez, Suri Sanchez, Jenna San Severino, Chloe Saji, Julia Singh, Justina Slovak, Alexandra Tashuk, Nathan Thomas, Tom Lum Tong, Gabriel Triafone, Morgan Tucker, Heath Whedon, Jason White, Nicholas Winzarski, Olivia Zajac, and Fiona Gansey.
We have a round of applause for our sophomore scholars, please.
Am I good? Now, grade scholars. Colin Alamani, Chloe Alviso, Barron, Bielaska, Noah Borup, Brian Carago, Bajnowski, Lila Civitello, Jonah Quartermanche, Faith DeFrancis, Thea DeWitt, Ava Dos Santos, Cameron Gatos, Skylar Gilbert, Joseph Gianfrido, Bonnie Gong, Olivia Gradage, Shanna Gray, Delilah Gooster, Mohammed Hyder, Gage Howard, Oliver Callan, Sean Kelly, Adrian Kowalczyk, Kaylee Krasuski, Ethan Lassen Crawford, Joshua Lee, Isabella Longo, Jaden Liu, Jalen Manson, Daniel Martins, Camille Mikulski, Madeline Michaud, Hassan Munawar, Darren Nago, Caitlin Yugan, Quang Nguyen, Mylia Nieves, Benjamin Nayas, Sean Paiva, Mariah Palladino, Miranda Parker, Achut Patel, Emily Percy, Isabella Peruccio, Larissa Pham, Ryan Pouliot, Nayeli Rios, Lucas Robson, Nicholas Rodriguez, Jackson Romano, Noel Roy, Logan Shaw, Prashast Singh, Emily Skubitz, Aiden Stegmeyer, Philip Stachera, Ava Tavares, Ethan Thomas, Andrew Tran, Leah Turner, Ashritha Varada, Ella Vumbach, Matthew Vuong, Shrishti Wadwa, Gabriella Wiersbecki, Kaylee Wilson, Ricky Yang. That concludes our grade 11 scholars.
Now for our 12th grade scholars. Should we wait till it gets settled down a little bit? And now for our 12th grade scholars, Olivia Domchik, Sarah Aldrich, Adam Alexander, Dylan Anktel, Majaba Arthur, Rachel Bailey, Elizabeth Barron, Rachel Billmeyer, Evangelia Bakakis, Maya Blanco, Catherine Bolke, Cooper Broadbent, Aster Cow, Angelina Carago, Gabriella Krastowski, Madison Conforto, Emma Costa, Ray Daco, Joseph D'Amato, Evan DeMarco, Grant Abella, Vian Din, Elizabeth Dahl, John Michael Duran, Caitlin Jawa, Madeline Farragher, Victoria Filippone, Maya Galicio, Chanshan Gao, Alexander Gavrilis, Mia Golek, Maya Graboic, Chelsea Greca, Andre Guillotine, Maeve Gunning, Hiba Habib, Gina Hughes, Liana Johnson, Colin Cranian, Michael LaCava, Molly Lavoy, Wee Lee, Fook Lee, Carly Leonard, Rachel Malik, Skylar Marziano, Anna McGoldrick, Libby McGrath, Gabriella Molfettis Thuran, Philip Nadrzatowski, Sophia Napoli, Emma Nystrom, Hannah Nystrom, Charles Pade, Ian Rainville, Sophia Rathbun, Mason Riley, Rebecca Rodriguez, Lindsay Ronsky, Taylor Ronsky, Angelina Ruiz, Isailan Smith, Maya Smith, Andrew Stafford, Ishan Tansir, Ethan Tata, Patience Tez, Mia Theriot, Alexander Tong, Manu Vinod, Sarah Vizalga, Lauren Vong, Casey Wang, Ella Webster, Jillian Webster, Colleen Whitman, Claudia Wilson, Maggie Woods, Alina Yavorska, Christian Izagiri, and Abigail Zoll. That should conclude the 12th grade scholars.
We just have the photographer take a picture, and then we'll give time for our proud parents to take their picture in just a minute. You can still see you on the floor. Miss Batista, let's follow the rules here. All right. Put your hand. All right, now we can get back in the way. Seniors, stay up there until proud families are all set. All right, let's give it up for our senior scholars. All right, so we just announced all students who received high honors for the first 3 quarters of the academic year. Now I'm going to ask that the following 44 seniors stand. They received the Presidential Award for achieving high honors for 12 or more quarters. So again, I ask that these seniors stand where you are, and just so we can recognize you for the Presidential Award. Sarah Aldridge, Adam Alexander, Dylan Anktel, Rachel Bailey, Elizabeth Barron, Katie Bulkey, Aster Cow, Madison Conforto, Emma Costa, Evan DeMarco, Beth Dahl, Caitlin Jajwa, Madeline Farragher, Maya Galicio, Alexander Dravelis, Mia Golick, Maya Grbawick, Chelsea Greca, Andre Guletin, Hiba Habib, Gina Hughes, Colin Karanian, Michael LaCava, Molly Lavoy, Hugh Lee, Fook Lee, Rachel Malik, Anna McGoldrick, Gabriela Mulfetis Duran, Philip Nadratowski, Sophia Napuli, Charles Pade, Sophia Rathbun, Taylor Ronsky, Isaiah Smith, Maya Smith, Eason Tanzer, Ethan Tata, Alexander Tong, Casey Wang, Ella Webster, Colleen Whitman, Maggie Woods, Abigail Zoll. 44 seniors receiving high honors, 12 or more quarters. Outstanding work, family. All right, and to close out this beautiful morning, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Brummett, Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, Ms. Tigno. All righty. So the class of 2024 and all our students honored here today continue to impress me. Such an amazing set of accomplishments. You all truly embody the Newington Public Schools portrait of a graduate, which are the essential skills and dispositions we want when our students complete high school. Well done. Parents and guardians and special guests, you should be very proud. Thank you for all your support and the guidance that you brought your students here today. How about another round of applause for all those celebrated here today? I'm going to save my detailed remarks celebrating the class of 2024 at our upcoming graduation ceremony at the Oakdale on June 14th. Suffice it to say, though, I'm looking through all the senior quotes to help me with my speech. I promise you this will be a memorable event, and I cannot wait. I would like to thank the board members that took time out of their busy schedule to be here today, Board Chair Amy Parati and Mary Beatrice, Acting Town Manager Trevathan, and Town Councilors Tim Mankey, Gail Badraco, Dave Nagel, Mitch Page, Kathy Gonzalez, who's also doubling as a parent today, and Matt Plord. Your support has allowed us to provide the top quality education that brings our kids to this event today. I'd also like to thank Ms. Tigno, the ever-proud principal of Newington High School, but isn't she wonderful? She's just such a bright light here. And the rest of her team, but I have to give a special bang out to Dave Millardo. Fun fact, he was my middle school teacher, okay? So if you do good in school, someday maybe your middle school teacher will call you boss. It's worth a shot. I also want to thank our choral and band leaders, Chris Clark and Stephen Brooks. Your students were amazing as always, brought tears to many people's eyes. Anne-Marie Sunderland, who always makes sure that NHS events run flawlessly, like today, my assistant, Sophie Pachaki, our cafeteria and custodial staff, and everyone responsible here to make sure our NHS honorees were able to celebrate their scholar breakfast in style, which they certainly did. Thank you so much. In closing, whether you are a graduating senior ready for the next chapter or a rising sophomore, junior, or senior, we know that not every day will be a scholar breakfast. However, you will continue to be successful if you follow the advice of famed educational scholar Dr. Seuss. The more you read, the more things that you will know. The more that you learn, the more places that you'll go. And here's to all those places that you're all going to go. Thank you, and have a great end to the school year. Congratulations.
Our program has concluded. I love that we're waiting for the next announcement here. No bell. So thank you again for coming. And another round of applause for our guest speaker, Jenna Griffith, and her family for joining us today. You may take pictures, and then students head on your way to class.